I seen this. Yo, Jay, this on TRG News, bro. I seen this. This if it's what I think it is, this YouTuber, this woman is facing up to 60 years in prison. She has been accused of um abusing her children and starving them. I was like, bro, why y'all make the weird niggas like famous, bro? Like, why y'all get the real niggas like all
so
the
you can decide when to book.
like the weird niggas? Y'all give them all these follows and shit, bro.
Sorry, kid, I don't get paid till Friday.
I don't know what's going on.
$250 instantly with no credit.
About 5 months ago, I covered the story of the 8 Passengers YouTube channel and all of the evils that were going on behind the scenes.
Oh, that's the same
8 Passengers
channel?
was a YouTube channel that had over
This
2
the
million
one?
subscribers. It was a popular family channel that
I didn't know it was the
showcased
same.
a strict style of
Oh,
parenting. That's what it became known
I
for.
thought it was a
But the
different
word strict
YouTuber.
doesn't really cover it. That's a huge understatement. It was really alarming to a lot of viewers because they were treating their family like they were in the Marine Corps. Like, they ruled their family with an iron fist. And it eventually came out that the children in these videos were being abused. And 5 months ago, the story broke. One of the children freed themselves, escaped the house, went over to the neighbors, who then contacted the authorities, and after an investigation, found some horrific shit was going on with this
Bro.
family. Mainly the mother, Ruby Frank, abusing her children. Ruby Frank also had an accomplice named Jody Hildebrandt, and together the two of them put these children through unspeakable evils. And today I have an update to share with all of you because they have been sentenced. Ruby Frank was apparently sobbing at the sentencing and blamed the child abuse on
I seen
being
that.
deceived
I seen
into
that.
thinking the world was evil. I don't understand that thought process at all. She was deceived into thinking the world was an evil place, thus she had to be evil herself. You're the evil, Ruby. You are the one who knocks. The fuck you talking about? She had the gall to try and paint herself as a victim almost, making claims that she was manipulated and like morally confused, and it ended up with her turning into this child abuser. It's ridiculous. But luckily the crocodile tears from this brain dead strategy here didn't do much to help her. She was sentenced to 4 to 60 years in prison. She pled guilty along with her associate to abusing
They made
2
an
of Frank's
example
children.
out of this
However,
bitch right here.
neither woman will serve more than 30 years in prison because of a Utah law that prohibits consecutive sentences exceeding that. Moments before a Utah district court judge sentenced Frank to consecutively serve 1 to 15 years behind bars for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse, Frank tearfully told the court she never meant to harm the children. Which makes absolutely no sense. She obviously knew what she was doing was harming the children because she would deprive them of food, water, a place to sleep, and the children were even beaten, among other horrible things. All things that can't necessarily be confused with just building character or something like that. Can't possibly be just written off as strict parenting. This isn't one of those situations where you'll see people come out of the woodwork to defend it. They were just spanking their kids. It helps discipline them. Put some hair on their chest. I remember when Peepaw took me out back and made me gargle a glass of motor oil and nails in order to turn into a man, and look how I turned out. It's nothing like that. She would beat her kids and left them in states of malnourishment. It's so heinous what Ruby and Jody inflicted upon these children. And that Utah law that prohibits them from serving that full, potentially 60-year sentence really sucks here because they deserve life in jail for what they've done here. The reason why there's a huge range of 4 to 60 years is because there's still one more step where another board is going to ultimately decide how much time they should spend there. And if the board members are watching, it better be the maximum. Anything shy of the maximum is an affront to justice. Heavens to Betsy, I tell you, if they end up only serving 4 years for these actions, I'm gonna have a
That could be the
conniption.
possibility, bro.
You would be enabling
How the justice system
monsters
is
to
now,
get away
bro.
with it. And that is an unforgivable sin
Like,
on
they could
your
get 3
part.
years
You
max.
would be condemning yourself to hell for that. You'd be dining down there with Lucifer in the afterlife if you let them get away with this and only get 4 years of prison time. So the Business Insider article dives a bit more into Frank's behavior during this. So she was saying that she was deceived and had a distorted version of reality that went largely unchecked. She then just starts blabbering to try and prove that she had a distorted view of
Yeah,
reality, saying, I
insanity.
was led to believe that this world was an evil place filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abuse.
But after knowing all that, why would that make you want to inflict those hurtful things that you were brainwashed into doing? Like, why would you wanna pass that down, bro? Like, the goal for that, if the world was like that, I'm saying in some areas it is, in some areas it is. Like, the normal person would be like, man, this world's a cruel place. My children, they're not gonna be raised like that. Like, they're gonna be loved, they're gonna be cared for. Like, that's the average person. Like, you don't go, man, this world's a cruel place. Man, let me make it harder for my kids. Fuck that. Like, no. That's not, no, you're trying to, like, they're trying to get, like, everything, like, thrown out, like, go to a mental hospital. Like, no, I don't think that's gonna fly here, bro.
Let me pause real quick.
I don't think that's gonna
if
fly
this was
here.
your view of the world, why wouldn't you want to rise above that and be the exact opposite of that perspective?
Exactly what I just
So you're
said.
viewing the world through your stupid glasses, whatever. You got your fucking moron dunce hat on, whatever. Why wouldn't you want to be the exception? Why wouldn't you want to be the one that's loving and nurturing their children? Why wouldn't you want to be the one that's not evil in this evil world you believe you live in? That doesn't make any sense. You are just yapping about fucking nothing. This is a nothing burger of a statement. It is once again just her trying to
Yeah,
paint
they
herself
fumbled
as
on
almost
that.
some kind of victim of
They definitely
deceit.
fumbled on
Now, I
that.
don't know if this next part is her just putting on a facade, faking self-awareness, or if she really does finally understand that she is the big bad here and that it is all her fault. But she says that it was her choice to believe and behave this paranoia. It culminated in a criminal activity, and she stands ready to take accountability. And then says at the end, I can see now over the past 4 years I was in a deep undercurrent that led us to danger. I would never have led you to darkness knowingly. I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong. I would do anything in this world for you. To me, this feels like hollow words because the only thing she ever did in the world for her children was keep them in a state of malnourishment, fear, and misery. I really get the impression that Ruby is a manipulator. I think what she's trying to do here is put on this act of remorse. I really get the impression through learning what I have about this case now that Ruby would do anything to keep herself out of trouble. But I think deep down she isn't really remorseful of her actions. I don't think she existed in this year-long disoriented state that led her to abusing her kids for this long period of time. She was so proud of the way that she handled her family, she would post about it frequently on YouTube and defend it as like a strict parenting style. So I really think she's not remorseful and just desperately trying to save her own ass. Also, the next thing she said about her willingness to sacrifice all for her children being masterfully manipulated into something very ugly once again reads to me as her trying to pass the blame. Now, throughout a lot of this, it seems that Ruby is trying very hard to play like the deceived victim here, and Jody kind of being like the puppet master behind it. Jody was the one that was really kind of isolating Frank, keeping her away from her husband and all of these other things, and making sure that her morality was constantly confused. So it really just seems like Frank's strategy was to push a lot of that onto Jody, where she was the Frankenstein who made Ruby into a monster. Allegedly, Ruby had been made to believe that Hildebrandt had insight to offer a path to continual improvement, and eventually it twisted into something heinous, which resulted in all of the abuse. Frank's lawyer even outright said that she was
speechless as
manipulated by
hell.
Hildebrandt, saying that Hildebrandt systematically isolated her from extended family, older children, and her husband, and gave her a distorted sense of morality. Even
This
though,
situation
like
been
I
going on
said,
for a long
Ruby
time because I thought this was like a different situation. No, it's the same people from what, like a year ago? Wow.
is a
I
child
didn't know
abuser,
they
who I
got locked
also
up
believe to
either.
be a manipulator as well. So Jody also is evil. Let's not forget. So speaking of Jody, she received the same prison sentence
They all
as
evil.
Ruby.
Everybody in
Jody will be facing 4 to
situation
60
evil.
years in prison as well. Again, that's up to the board to decide exactly how long. And I'm hoping they make the right decision and give her and Ruby the maximum amount of time in prison. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the 8 passengers abuse case, there's going to be a quick summary that I'll go through here. So in August, one of the children, the 12-year-old son, climbed through a window from Hildebrandt's house to get help for himself and his 10-year-old sister, which prompted a neighbor to call the police. And at the time, the police described the child as emaciated and injured with duct tape around his ankles and wrists. The prosecutor said Miss Frank and her business partner held 2 children ages 9 and 11 turning 12 in a concentration camp-like setting. The
Oh my
children were
God.
regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. The children were beaten, bound, forced to do manual labor in the sweltering heat, and emotionally abused. Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization when they were found, and the injuries from the bindings to the 12-year-old were particularly awful. There's more information about some of the abuse that she would inflict upon her children. She kicked her son, held his head underwater, covering his nose and mouth so he couldn't breathe. All kinds of horrible things that I don't think I need to keep going into detail on.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Ruby and Jody are monsters. Plain and simple. Now I want to briefly discuss the husband, Kevin. So, as you
Nah, this is a movie right here.
Jody had urged them to separate. She kept Ruby isolated from him. In order to save their marriage, Jody suggested that they separate, so Kevin eventually moved out and stopped communicating with his family at Jody's direction. Now, social workers and police were called to the family home multiple times in recent years, but there are no formal accusations. Kevin has made statements through his lawyer, Randy Kester, and has stated, the treatment these children received at the hands of those whom the children had a right to trust was horrific and inhumane, both physically and psychologically. Kevin remains focused on the rehabilitation of these sweet and vulnerable children so that they might return to a normal life as soon as possible. So it sounds like he had no idea what was happening there due to being separated from the family like that. When I initially covered this story, I didn't know that he was away from the rest of the family and completely ceased communication altogether, so I guess that would explain how he'd be in the dark. But if I'm being honest, I'm extremely surprised that he wouldn't see his children a single time throughout this long period of abuse. Like, if he saw them one time, he would immediately know what's going on, because the neighbor, the authorities, they were able to immediately see something was wrong. They were in a malnourished, emaciated state. There was, the bruises, so much that you would immediately see it. You can't be oblivious to. It would be impossible to be oblivious to. You can't ignore it. You would know. I'm not trying to accuse him of anything here. I'm just saying it is a little weird that he wouldn't see these children throughout this long period of the abuse they endured. I understand Jody told them to separate and to stop talking, but I can't imagine someone just willingly doing that without checking in occasionally. Especially because they're still together. Those are still his children too. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm happy to see that Ruby and Jody will be facing prison time for this. Hopefully, a lot of prison time for this, because it is...
Yeah, they gone.
What they've done is unforgivable. And I think even 30 years, if they get the maximum sentence, is a light sentence for this shit. This is awful stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an update to this story. That's really about it. So yeah.
Shoot, they get the wrong judge, they getting death. But I hope they don't shoot, bro. That shit crazy, dog. For real. That shit crazy as hell. They better shoot. The wrong judge gonna give them death for that shit. That's like concentration camp type shit. Like, them shit's not... Like, the military don't even let that shit fly. Like, they don't even do that shit no more. So, yeah, that might be going away for a long
If you're
time.
looking for a date or the love of your life, you know where to find us and find them.
Friends, I am so deep in the void right now. I am down the rabbit hole of looks maxing, and I don't know if I can ever get out. I'm starting to believe we really do live in a simulated universe because I am in the darkest corners of this, and I can't believe that this is real life. I'm in the looks maxing matrix here, and what I see disturbs me. It's an obsession for a lot of people. 10 days ago, I made that video, Beware of Jelqing, where I focused on like the sillier aspects of looks maxing, though admittedly still dangerous, where a big part of looks maxing is about your wiener and being insufficient to sexually pleasure a woman, so they recommend Jelqing exercises, which is stretching the penis in dangerous ways that often cause
What the fuck I
irreversible
click on?
damage. They'll have you beating your skin flute like it owes you money, fucking pretzeling your cock, sticking it in your own butt, and just doing these like weird accordion-like stretches on your meat that in a lot of cases destroy it in the process. And I was making a video kind of just talking about that and joking about it because Jelqing is something that I'm familiar with because it was an old internet meme and something I also tried when I was young, stupid, and desperate. But when I made that video just 10 days ago, I was at the surface level of looks maxing. I still had my water wingies on and I was above water, but now, brother, I'm a fucking seasoned veteran. I have seen some weird shit with looks maxing and I want to share a little bit of it with you. There is a complete hyperfixation on wiener size in a lot of looks maxing communities where they believe that that is everything. And they spend every waking hour of their day doing all that they can to penis max, like everything they can.
What the fuck did I just click on?
Stretch and contort, or even drugs in some cases to increase the size in any way at all, even just like a fucking millimeter. They are doing.
Yo.
And it's really sad because that's like their whole life right now. I found this YouTube channel who for a while now has been posting content pretty much exclusively focused around dropping this arcane knowledge on how to increase your cock size. Like, just look at some of these. The best extender 4.0 is here, and then that doohickey looks like some kind of gadget that Wile E. Coyote would use to try and trap the Roadrunner, like a bear trap for it. And that's supposed to be something for your most sensitive area on the body? Like, my God, please have mercy. And then he does like these interviews with people, so like how women react to giant penis. Like, his whole mentality is all about his cock. And it's, I don't know, like this obsession from not only him, but like the comments is so baffling to me. So you see that video right there? How porn stars blow massive loads? I decided to go to the comments and I saw this. I tried everything to blow bigger loads. Kegels and supplements and drinking 3 or 4 big glasses of celery juice a day. Hydration helps. Drink lots and lots of water. Outside of that, yeah, it's genetics. I've always been a dribbler, and I always wanted to fire rope after rope of semen just like Peter North did. I'm unfamiliar with the work of Peter North, but he speaks about him like he's a Babe Ruth of...
Yo, wow.
Now there was a guy who nearly drowned some of his co-stars. He's probably been retired for 10 or 15 years now, but 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, that dude was the GOAT when it came to the old money shot. This dude's got an entire diet around increasing load volume.
Either that or is it something in the background? It's not that
important. I mean, I guess it's a cool thing to be able to do if
Might be
you're
something in the
fucking
background.
dumping DNA by the gallon, like, I guess. But it's really not important enough to start buying supplements for it. Drinking
I don't know what that
4
is.
glasses of celery juice a day. This man's training like Rocky Balboa, but for cum. Like, brother, it's not that big of a deal. And neither is...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You wanna make your dick bigger, bro? Just beat that shit, bro. Just like beat it, just beat it. Beat it until you get tired. And eventually, like, the shit gonna get big as fuck, bro. Like, but like niggas want that shit like right now, like ASAP, bro. No, like that shit is a part of your body, bro. Losing weight takes time. Gaining muscle takes time. Having muscles like be seen takes time. What makes you think your dick gonna grow 3 inches in like 3 days, my nigga? No, that's not. No, it's months. Months of beating, months of jacking, months of beating. I'm saying you ain't got a nut, bro. Just like beat this shit like hard as hell, gang. man, like you gonna be straight. You gonna
Having
be
an
straight.
average size willy. Like, if your Johnson isn't pushing 8 inches, it's not the end of the world like a lot of these looks maxing gurus are trying to scare you into thinking it is. It's not like you're going to be, forced into a life of solitude and, virginity because you have a 5 inch penis or whatever. Like, that's not the case. You need to play with the cards you're dealt. Like, and buying into like supplements
You
and
have to embrace
the
what you got first.
extender medieval torture device.
Oh God, if you embrace what you got first, like you gonna be wrecking shit. Oh God, you gonna like. Let's say you got a 3 or a 4. You know what I'm saying? I can't relate, but like, if you, I'm pretty sure if you embrace your 3 or 4, you're gonna be wrecking shit. Cause you're gonna be figuring out like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, let me hit it in this side, that side. You're gonna be wrecking shit, bro. Bro, you gonna have a boyfriend dick, bro. Boyfriend dick is like 4 to 6. You know what I'm saying? Boyfriend is like 4 to 6. I ain't gonna say my size, but I'm that sneaky link. I'm that sneaky link. Fuck your life up. Fuck your legs up. Like shit.
All that kind of shit. It's highly unnecessary.
Penis extender that I can use throughout the day without it interrupting any part of my day. I wanted something that I
But
can
I heard
forget about it. I don't want to feel it too much. I don't want it to
from
Unfortunately,
girls,
there hasn't been
bro,
anything like this
like,
anymore. If you're following me for long enough, you realize that I tried so many different ways to rig my device from
4
using
to
different deals
6.
together. However, since now I
That's
have the resources and I have the
boyfriend
connections
shit.
to be able to manufacture such device, I
And
present
like
the new best all-day stretcher.
7 all the
Now,
way
if you want to
up.
stretch and make your penis bigger
That's
in the most
like
comfortable way,
sneaky
this is it. I
link,
guarantee you
fuck
it's
your
not gonna
life
be
up
anything more
type
comfortable than
shit.
this.
Holy shit.
This
A bunch
nigga
of
really
Laguza designed
extending
to stretch
his
your
dick.
penis all day, just trying to fight for a couple millimeters.
Y'all know he's gonna have the worst erectile dysfunction of all time, bro. He's gonna wake up one day and not gonna feel shit down there. That's how bad it's gonna get.
That is not a battle worth fighting. That is a war worth losing right there. Trying to claw a couple millimeters away from destiny,
You had to
like,
get
trying to defy fate. It's not worth the agony and it's not worth the money for it either. It's just not that important. It really isn't. Though I can't help but giggle at the idea where you wear that strapped to your leg and connected to your schlong and just keep it on all day, constantly stretching. Throughout the video, he talks about how much force it can exert, like 3 to 5 pounds worth of force, depending on how much slack is in the cord. That's a lot. Like you're gonna
That's
probably
dangerous.
hurt yourself over time.
Yeah,
No
he's
doubt
gonna
in
hurt
my
himself.
mind about that. Also, when it's all day, does that mean you also take it like to work with you? So like you're just walking around the office in your long pants trying to conceal it. They don't know I'm stretch maxing. Or you're walking through Walmart just going to pick up some item, and the whole time your cock is just being tugged on by the stretching device. Like,
Like you can't even have a full blown
like, yucky.
conversation with
I
that.
hate to think about that. It's this fixation that people are being kind of pushed into with things like looks maxing becoming so popular, where every single possible insecurity that anyone can ever have is being focused on and highlighted and put on this pedestal where it needs to be fixed. And the only way to fix it is through buying these things or watching these videos and supporting this person who's giving away this information, when that is just not the case. It's leading to people just making themselves miserable all the time. Like I said in the last video, there's a couple of positive things about looks maxing on like a very basic level, such as telling people that it's good to brush your teeth, it's good to take a shower, it's good to like fix your hair or dress nice. That's all very positive general advice.
Trying to realize something. Life is definitely like a cycle, bro. The same shit we doing now, exposing flaws, not being able to live with your flaws, all that stuff, woe is me, like all this shit happened hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. centuries ago, bro. All this shit happened. Then somebody comes along. Here's a solution. Do this, plastic surgery, this and this and that and this. The same shit happened centuries ago, thousands of years ago. It's a freaking cycle, bro. It's a cycle. Like, think about the way we dress, bro. Back in the 90s, it was baggy pants, baggy pants on one side, baggy shirts. On the other side, you got your tight pants, flamboyant shit. Everybody thought it was gay, but you was pulling bitches. Like, it's all coming back around, bro. It's all coming back around. Like, they try to run away from it, now it's back around. Everybody's baggy again. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Then we got on the other side, the flamboyant side, the tight stuff, the crazy stuff. It's all a cycle, bro. That's crazy as fuck, bro. And it's gonna continue to be a cycle, like cycle after cycle.
That's basically just being a parent
Holy.
to people, to be honest. Like that's not this level. This is where it gets dangerous, and it's really done by bad actors that are peddling shit to you to make money off of your insecurity that they are only exacerbating. It's just a horrible practice of keeping people miserable and always feeling insufficient so that way they're responsive and more susceptible to buying this kind of garbage or subscribing to the people that just keep feeding into this belief. And it, like I said in the last one, it must be really confusing growing up in this kind of landscape right now because it's so prevalent, where you're getting told that, you know, getting laid is extremely important, and in order to get laid, you need to have a six-figure income, you gotta have hunter eyes. If you don't have hunter eyes, well, hope you enjoy no pussy the rest of your life. You don't have a chance. Just all kinds of
Who said
awful
that?
things. I could sit here and play 1,000 looks maxing videos and shit on them, but at the end of the day, I actually just feel bad for the people who are constantly being fed that. Just being told all the reasons why they're ugly and the only ways to fix it are by following these guides or buying these courses or these products. That's just...
I feel bad for that nigga though, because a lot of people don't realize, bro. You can make a lot of videos, bro, but the video starts with you. The videos interest you, and videos like that means that he was dealing with the problem and he's trying to find ways to fix it. So that start with him, and I feel bad for that nigga.
Fucking miserable. And then what inevitably happens
is
you
ain't gotta do all that shit,
other
bro.
people into following this path, and it becomes like a cult, a looks maxing cult, where they've bought in and they will never come to terms with the reality that they've been scammed, pretty much, or they just never realize
like Lotto,
that the things
Lotto said she regret getting her body done. Then she went back and I think she took everything out, like reversed everything. But like she was like she regretted that shit because like she ain't really like love herself and shit like that. And like her sister wanna get it done too. She was like, she'll be mad if she get it done. She'll be mad as fuck if she get it done. She'll be mad at her sister if she get it done. But like y'all just gotta love yourself, bro. Love your little 3-inch, bro. Like on God, your little 3-inch don't make a bitch like, I'm saying, yeah, like love that shit, bro.
About like how important, you know, the cantle tilt is or whatever. really don't matter that much.
Like, do it
at all.
naturally, bro.
You don't
Like,
need to be
at least,
mewing
like, do it
24
naturally.
hours a day, mewing in your
Like,
sleep
beat your shit.
in order to get the perfect
It will
chiseled
get bigger.
jawline, in order to lead a happy, successful life and have a significant other. It's unnecessary, and a lot of times, in pretty much every case, it's a bunch of baloney, a bunch of hooey to begin with. So it's just that's the reality of it. I was shocked in all of my looks maxing deep dives I've done over the last 10 days to see how many people defend it. That was the weirdest part to me, and I really think it's because they've just bought into it and then feel trapped like they have to keep supporting it, otherwise it was all for nothing. But yeah, I just had to rant about looks maxing a little bit. I've spent too long in the rabbit hole to not talk about it a little further past the Jelqing video. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
All right, Gango. That's crazy, bro. Just beat your shit, gang. Just beat it. Just beat it.